Am I the butthole for telling all our mutual friends that she essayed her daughter? My former friend of 8 years asked me to move into her apartment because she was planning to leave the country for a while and didn't want to lose it. She was a good friend, and her apartment was about $1,000 cheaper than mine. I agreed under the impression that she would be gone by the time I moved in. She wasn't, and in hindsight, I sometimes wonder if that was intentional. By the time I realized this, I had already given up my own apartment, so I had no choice but to move in with my child. I went from a spacious, comfortable place to a small, run-down apartment where my child and I had to share a bedroom. 2 months later, her 15-year-old daughter, who had run away a couple of years earlier, moved in as well. That made 4 people living in a very small 2-bedroom apartment. About a month after her daughter moved in, she told me that her mother had essayed her. I believed her immediately. I encouraged her to get proof if anything happened again. 2 days later, she brought me an audio recording of an incident. Without going into too much detail, the situation was serious enough that my ex-friend was arrested and has been in jail since, about a year. The entire experience was deeply traumatizing. I'm angry and disgusted that she put me and her daughter in that position, and I want absolutely nothing to do with her. Because we share many mutual friends, I told them all what she did and what we were put through. Now I'm questioning myself. Should I have been more private? Am I the butthole?
Okay, guys, OP is back with a follow-up. Thank you to everyone who has offered kind words. I truly appreciate it. The reason I'm sharing this now is because her trial date is approaching, and with people talking again, it stirred up a lot for me emotionally. I know there have been some negative comments and some confusion about why I handled certain things the way I did. I understand that, especially given how little detail I initially shared. My intention was to keep things brief, but in order to answer some of the questions being asked, I'll need to provide more context and go into greater detail. My ex-friend asked me to take over her apartment because she knew I was struggling to keep up with my rent. She didn't want to lose the apartment, so she suggested that we could help each other out. Since her place was about $1,000 cheaper than mine, moving there seemed like it would significantly ease the financial pressure on me. Some people have asked why I didn't move out right away. At the time, she reassured me that her move was still happening. It had just been postponed by a month or two. Because we were close friends, I trusted her and stayed. Once those 2 months passed and she still had no concrete plans to leave, I began looking for another apartment. However, winter was approaching and rent in this area is extremely expensive. Securing a new place would have required first and last month's rent, which could have been anywhere from $4,000 to $5,000. I wasn't able to come up with that amount immediately, so I had no choice but to stay longer than I wanted to. For those asking about my child, I co-parent, and my child was not present when any of this occurred. I also never left my child alone with anyone in that apartment, and when I heard about what was going on right under my nose, I had my child spend more time at Dad's place. As for the 15-year-old, I had known her mother for years, but living together allowed us to build trust. She confided in me about what was happening to her. She told me it wasn't the first time, so I encouraged her to get some proof. When I became aware of what was happening, I stayed up at night listening, trying to make sure she was safe. She began recording audio on her phone whenever she was around her mother, and that recording later confirmed the abuse. The weight of carrying all of this alone became overwhelming, so I shared what I knew with a small number of mutual friends for support. After the arrest, her daughter had nowhere to go, and her extended family was unwilling to help. When I eventually found another apartment, I moved her in with me so she could have some stability and peace. Tragically, about a year later, the weight of what she had endured became too much. On Valentine's Day last year, she passed away. Thankfully, my child was with Dad, so I was alone when I found her. After that, I began telling more people about her mother, not for attention, but to speak up for her when she no longer could.
I asked the "Am I the butthole?" question because I'm struggling with whether sharing her story is the right thing to do, even though my intention is to make the truth known.
You are not the butthole.
I'm 30M. My wife is 28F. No kids. We have been together for about 11 years, married since 2022. Basically high school sweethearts. This indeed has been an amazing journey for 10 years. We grew up and went through a lot of stuff together. Closest people to each other, for sure. We're from a country that is far behind the EU and moved to an EU country about 3 years ago because I got an offer and work visa. She moved here with me and got a dependent visa. If we get divorced, she can only stay here if she finds a highly paid job, unlikely, or finds a new husband within a month or so. You need to stay here for 5 years at least to get permanent residency. So, about 6 months ago, I started noticing that something fishy is going on. No attention from her, tells me to go to the office daily, sometimes I work remotely, does not want to spend time together anymore, became extremely irritable, always angry at me for the smallest things. I felt she's not really around anymore, like she has left emotionally, but still here just physically. About 4 months ago, I checked her browser history. Feel bad about this, but I was going crazy, and realized that she was preparing for something. Registered on a dating app, Googling weird stuff about STI protection, etc. Then one day I realized that her story didn't add up and that she really went on a date. I confronted her that evening, after the date. After several hours, she admitted it and started telling me that it's me who broke everything long ago, that I was focusing only on my work and wasn't giving her enough attention. I agree partially. I was working hard for our mortgage and financial stability. Basically, we can afford a lot now. Also because of those layoffs happening in IT a few years ago. Then we started talking, a lot, for days, nights. Not possible to cover everything here, but I was open to reconciliation. I was open to start working together, start resolving those old problems, and forgive her. She has earned trust during the 10 years, and I thought she deserved a chance, and we could still fix that. I think I was wrong. But I didn't really see any dedication from her. All she was doing was learning how to cover or hide what she was doing, changing passwords, cleaning history, never leaving her phone alone, etc. It's like we entered a cat-and-mouse game. So, 2. Then that happened again, and again, and again. I can't really count how many times this happened, how many times I caught her sexting or dates. I even saw her kissing another guy. I confronted them and told them what I thought of them. Those situations were happening like every week. I was always trying to forgive her and was believing her excuses for some reason. Every time she was telling me she wouldn't proceed. When I mentioned divorce, she started talking. She told me she had lost her feelings and passion a year ago because of those problems. As she tells, I was hyper-focused on work, wasn't really romantic. I think there's truth in this. And that she wants those romantic feelings back, but it's not possible with me anymore. That she loves me, but not in love with me, according to Reddit, the classic cheater's playbook. We started thinking about separation. She wanted a break. Hi, Ross and Rachel. I asked if we could meet other people during the break. She said yes. I told that it's a break-up, not a break. She told that then we need to break up because she needs time to understand if she still feels something. I told her that she needs to find an apartment and I'll help her with payments, but she can't do anything like that while we are still together. But recently, I found out that she has been meeting with the guy for the past 2 months, and she has never stopped. I read their chat history. It's not just sexting, it's a much closer connection. They chat 24/7 about everything. Also, they're going to travel together soon. She told me that she's going to stay at a friend's place to think about our situation. They even discuss how to fool me, how to hide everything, etc., although they haven't slept together according to texts. By the way, I feel really bad that I check her chats. I don't even understand why I spend time on all this shit. It's not how I want to live. Now, she doesn't know that I know. I believe she thinks I can't check her devices anymore. By the way, every time I told her she betrayed me and that I couldn't even imagine she could do that, she tells me that I betrayed her first. When I tell her I don't trust her anymore, she tells me that she doesn't trust me either because I check her devices and I'm a control freak. The problem. My life is at the very bottom right now. I can only forget about this during work or sports or gaming. The rest time, I'm just dead inside, constantly. I'm disappointed. She has been everything to me, all my conscious life. I've never done therapy. I don't share this with friends because I probably still hope. Lol. I'm alone, and she keeps drowning me. Am I the butthole? The solution. I'm considering divorce now, meeting a lawyer tomorrow to discuss subtleties. The problem is that I feel like shit because of it. I feel that I'm betraying my closest person, the love of my life, the one I took responsibility for and moved to another country with. If we get divorced now, she will most likely have to leave this country and move back to our, frankly speaking, not the best country. Yes, she will get a part of our assets, but it's like nothing compared to leaving this life. Basically, she will lose this life forever. Her only chance is if that guy marries her really, really fast, within a month or so, something Europeans don't really do. I think I could easily consider staying together as friends or just helping her with an apartment and getting divorced in 2 years to help her, but they just destroyed me. Trust, honesty, responsibility, loyalty, it's what I value in life, but something that doesn't belong here.
Comment. OP, the very first thing you need to do is stop considering her feelings and what happens to her because she sure as heck is not considering yours. Getting a lawyer is a definite. You also need to lock down your financials. If your wife has access to your checking account, change it. If she has a credit card that only you pay for, put a halt on it. You love her, I get it, but you can't keep letting her abuse you like this. Yes, lying to you and continuing to see some dude, whether they slept together or not, is abuse. Stop sleeping with her. Stop buying things that you know she likes. Start preparing your life to exist without her. Yes, that will suck. Ope, she's already gone. You are the only one who hasn't realized that yet. Uh-oh. Sadly, OP, the commenter is right. She is gone, and you definitely deserve better. Verdict.
OP, you are not the asshole.